There it is. Jesus criminy. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Friday, March 21st, 2025. This is episode 839 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am in the mobile studio. I'm in the mobile studio coming at you live from Madison, South Dakota. Hashtag Team DSU. DakotaCon speaking in just a few hours at their conference. Awesome times. My alma mater where I got my PhD, and I just absolutely love the people at Dakota State University. Do let me know if you've got me in your ears, please. We do want to know if it is audio correct. Space Tacos and crew who enjoy the Sippy Cup. This is this is Team Sippy Cup. So welcome to the mobile studio experience, guys. Over the next hour, me, you, Space Tacos, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Daniel Lowry, the Sippy Cup, Danny, a.k.a. CCM Skater, the whole SC Nerd crew, folks on LinkedIn, Glory A, Thane9, Luke Canfield, my friends, JT Webb. Mic audio is low. All right, thank you. Let me see what I can do about that. Give me a second. This one says Mike. Does that help? Oh my God, I'm like a child with crayons at a restaurant. Eric Taylor has volunteered to help bail me out if I need bailing out, but I did just slide the slider that said Mike up. Let me know really quickly in chat if you can hear me better. I'm going to go ahead and go to the audio tab in this thing. Looks good. I'm feeling good about it. Yeah. Let's see how the routing looks on this soundboard. Yeah. Let me know. Loud and clear, Senfulous. Thank you. All right, guys. So it's always an adventure here on the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Oh, my God. Yeah, the new hair. When my hair looks like this, it means I need a haircut for real. All right, guys. What are we going to do? Listen, here's the deal. Episode 839, it's the same as it was on episode number 1. We are going to be delivering cyber risk reduction value to you. You're going to be getting informed on the top cyber news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories, really on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders, right? That's really the name of the game. That's why, honestly, you're getting paid. Great cash, homie. Thank you, Randy. That's why you're getting paid. So in order for you to level up, for you to get those promotions, good morning, AA Witherspoon, for you guys to crush it like bosses, I'm doing my part. And honestly, if I don't say this all the time, but you should know, like even before I started going live and doing this is how I start my day, like every day as a practitioner. So it's definitely valuable. Also, shout out to the solo operators who are in chat, the Stones fans, the Augusta Delgados, the Kyle Kyles. If you guys are a solo operator, meaning that you're a one-person shop, whatever, say hashtag Team Solo in chat. We are absolutely here to support you. Think of us as your virtual coworkers. Guys, I also want to say holler at the people looking to break into the industry. I know I've been seeing a lot more comments both on live stream and more on my produced videos, like the ones that you can go like look up the catalog of people saying like the cyber industry is a scam. You can't get a job in the cyber industry. It's a very polarizing topic right now, especially with people getting laid off and just the economy being kind of dorked up. So I just want you to know one of the things that you're going to be asked in any job interview is how do you stay current on the news. The Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief is a great answer for that. I'm not just saying that to pump my stock and like get views or whatever. Like literally, if you don't like my show, consume something. Get an RSS feed. Subscribe to newsletters. Whatever it is, you've got to stay current on the industry. I'm telling you, you absolutely are going to be asked in an interview, how do you stay current? And if your answer is, I don't know. I'll just tell you, like, if your answer is like blog posts, like I've had a candidate say that to me before. Oh, I read blog posts. Okay, what blog do you like? Blogs. Like, okay, all right, send in the next guy. Thank you for all you do. Go Team SC from Cy Guy Rai. Thank you very much, Cy Guy Rai. Blue Badge, 23 months, long timer in chat. Guys, I want you to know, even when I'm in Madison, South Dakota, I also do not research or prep for any of the episodes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because, frankly, I don't have time for that. I went out last night with my chair and some other faculty from Dakota State's PhD program. High fives, couple tall boys, tipped back. And, so I'm being real here, okay? Taking the, reinvention starts here. Is taking the GRC Analyst Masterclass, says it's priceless. My man, what's up? I'm glad you're getting value from that. I got to tell you really quick, too. I guess, whatever, I'm on travel and I'm drinking from the sippy cup, so I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here. But, when I see people say that they're getting value from the GRC Analyst Masterclass and that it's helping them either get a job or level up or just there's some positive impact in their life because of it, it absolutely fills my cup. Not Team Sippy cup, but just my proverbial cup. It gives me such just enjoyment. It's like spiritual nourishment. Thank you everyone for this community. Tom Bishop, you rock, Tom Bishop. All right, guys, let's run the ads really quick, and then when we come back, I'm going to tell you how this show can solve your CPE problems, and I want to give an update on CPEs because I actually had someone reach out to me about CPEs. We may have to make a small change to the show. I haven't quite figured out how to solve that. This is actually something I want to bring to the mod team. But here we go. Let's do some ads, and then I'm going to melt your face when I come back with CPE knowledge. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real-life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. Cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right, there we go. We got the ad reads coming in hot. I do want to say what's up. I saw Pelon, a.k.a. David Bollinger, dropping a knowledge bomb here on all of us this morning, inspiring. He said, just wanted to let you know I finally made the jump into IT. Today marks my first week as a support professional at an MSP. Thank you for the encouragement and help. David, thank you for sharing your win. And, like, I love it. I get to wrecking ball you. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yes, sir. That wrecking ball is David Bollinger all day long. Congratulations, man. Love it, love it, love it. Also want to say, what else we got in here? Jonathan Bowie got to see Jen Easterly speak. #fanboy. Right on, bro. Yep. Oh, hey, Cyber Texas 21 beat me to it. Guys, listen, if today's your first episode, episode 839, whether you found us through the David Bombal video or a friend recommended it, maybe you bumped into James McQuiggan at the airport and you found out about the show, whatever it is, welcome to the party, pal. Drop a # first timer in chat. But for my friend Cyber Texas 21, this one's for you. Welcome to the party, pal. So good. Guys, really quickly, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. Now, we've been doing this for years, and it is an instructor-led webinar, okay? But somebody sent me a thing and said, ISACA's policy is this. Can you please meet it? I'm going to have to go back and review ISACA's CPE policy. They do the CISA, CISM, C-risk, and stuff like that. It was qualified before. Now, I'm not saying it's not qualified. This is still qualified for CPEs for ISACA, but they may require you to register for something. You may have to get some type of certificate for being here, which is hot trash, frankly. But much like the newsletter that we put out and don't really weaponize as a business or whatever, I got to tell you, if push comes to shove, and we have to introduce some type of like registration system. Listen, the stream will always be free, okay? Like you don't have to go through a registration or paywall or click on anything to get here. This will always be here, but just simply for people that may need to get some type of certificate issued by a system, I'm willing to pay or invest, right? Like the show makes money. I'm willing to invest back into the show in order to have some automated system that you can sign up, put your name in, and then once a day at 9 a.m. Eastern time, it fires you off a certificate. And I'll leave it to you for your own integrity and ethics that if you are here, you take credit for it. And if you're not here, you don't take credit for it. Whatever it is, and that's what I might need help with. I might need help with some very lightweight, easy to do registration system so everybody can get a frickin' CPE certificate. But at the end of the day, like this show is absolutely worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot right above here, and take a screenshot. That's the evidence, right? Yeah, I know, Brexy. Exactly. You know what? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. For paywalling. Yeah, I know a certificate would be awesome. Thank you, person on LinkedIn whose name's not coming through the chat. I'm willing to do it, right? It's not designed to like, frickin' data mine your email address so I can upsell you on bullshit. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have children in the audience. I'm so sorry. It just gets me mad. It's just annoying, frankly. All right, let's get to the news, y'all. Okay? Let's sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news. Spicy! DJ BSEC Mobile Spicy. I'll catch you guys at the mid-roll. Let's go. Is this the right one? Yeah.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, March 21st, 2025.
Hey, Sean Lewin, a.k.a. Midosfa, who's asking a question here. Is there a way to work in cyber and only have a GD in certs? Sean, and everybody else who's here who doesn't know, we do another show at the top of the hour at 9 a.m. Eastern time every day or every weekday called Jawjacking, where we'll answer all your questions, including questions like that. The short answer is yes, you can absolutely get a job in cyber with a GED and certs. There is a way to do it. You don't need a bachelor's degree. You don't need a master's. Believe me, you don't you don't need a PhD. All right. But hey, we can go deeper in that question, Sean, at Jawjacking. Stay tuned.
I'm Steve Prentice. Stalkerware company SpyX suffers data breach. SpyX is a consumer-grade spyware operation described as, quote, a mobile monitoring software for Android and Apple services, ostensibly for granting parental control of a child's phone, end quote. It suffered a data breach in June of 2024, but according to TechCrunch, quote, it had not been previously reported, and there is no indication that SpyX's operators ever notified its customers or those targeted by the spyware, end quote. The breach has revealed that SpyX and 2 other related mobile apps, clones of SpyX, had records on almost 2 million people at the time of the breach, including thousands of Apple users. End quote.
Okay, so, company that has consumer-grade software that allows you to spy, quote unquote, but I would actually call it monitor your children, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, freaking everybody choose their own adventure, right? My kids are 12 and 9, and my 12-year-old has an iPhone, like a full phone with like phone number and internet and all that jazz. And my 9-year-old is like, like basically looking at iPhone ads like a thirst trap. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's like under his covers at night, like, flipping through a PC magazine. I'm joking. That was like a callback to yesteryear. But my point is, younger and younger generation are getting these mobile devices that are fully featured and, quite frankly, introduce a massive threat vector because their brains haven't fully developed. And that's not a dig to kids in chat right now, right? Like, it's not a dig. If I know there's kids who are driving to school with their parents right now who are probably like subtly swearing under their breath about this gray-haired, bearded millennial dork who's talking about your brain's not developed. But the reality is you're impressionable, and having the ability to monitor your phone and make sure creeps aren't taking advantage of you or doing anything disturbing is important, right? So there is a valid use case for this type of technology. Now, the thing is, this company suffered a data breach and didn't disclose it to anyone. Now, right on the surface, I do want to say, are they required to tell you? Okay, so a publicly traded company absolutely has to disclose a breach, right? But most companies are only going to disclose a breach if they are regulatorily required to or legislative required to. There's no benefit to them to tell you that that they screwed up your data and your kids' information's out there, or creeps may have been in the systems and seen, things because it hurts their sales, right? Now, if they're, in the state of South Carolina, for example, there's state law that says you have to notify individuals within 72 hours if their PII data has been breached. So this is why, honestly, guys, the Maine Attorney General's office, I love the Maine Attorney General's office because they're always notifying out when there's data breaches, because you're required to notify Maine residents. And the Maine Attorney General office is doing a greater good for everybody by saying, yo, hey, yeah, like Maine citizens, but like everybody should be aware that this company suffered a massive freaking breach. So I love it. This one, the data that was involved, let's see. A bunch of email addresses, 300,000 of them. Okay, so I don't really... This doesn't, whatever. Here's another thing, okay? I'll give you 2 more things on this one. Hey, CatGPT. What's up, meow? I've been watching daily but cannot comment from my new work device remote today. Good to have you, CatGPT. I actually been wondering where you were. I love CatGPT. We actually have the Joshua sound effect, or we used to, because of CatGPT. Anyways, there's 2 things to say here. Number 1, even though this is consumer-grade monitoring software, the same technology can be used by creeps and criminals to commit espionage and steal, your information, perform sextortion, cyber attacks, which are much more individually focused. So just be mindful of that. If you do, you should be, keeping an eye on what's installed on devices. And if you do see something that you didn't put there as unusual, just because it's consumer grade, just because it has a signed certificate, doesn't mean it's safe. It just means it's consumer grade, right? So threat actors are using that. The final thing to point out here is they talk about have I been pwned. Now, I feel like have I been pwned is like VirusTotal in that everybody knows about it. But I remember when I first found out about VirusTotal and I was like, holy crap, VirusTotal's cool. So allow me to be the person to teach you about have I been pwned if you've never heard of it. If you have heard of it, then you can appreciate the fact that everybody should know about it. It's a simple site. I'll drop a link in chat, and you can basically put in your email address and find out if it's been involved in data breaches. You can also put in your password to see if your password's been involved in data breaches. You can do domain search for your own like domain, like barricadecyber.com, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really great site, and it's one that you can send to your Aunt Dorothea's of the world and say, or basically put your Aunt Dorothea's email address in and be like, yo, did you know that this is involved in a LinkedIn data breach like 5 years ago? And Aunt Dorothea's like, I haven't used LinkedIn in 5 years. You're like, yeah, I know. Hello. All right. Hey, also, I forgot to mention Barricade Cyber. I'm so sorry. So Barricade Cyber, guys, if you didn't know, Eric Taylor, the crew at Barricade Cyber, they've been around forever, since almost the inception of the show. And not only are they partners, but they're also sponsors. Let me get this notepad up real quick here. I've said this read like so many times, you think I would know it by heart. But listen, Barricade Cyber Solutions, right? Eric Taylor and the team is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil, right? They're going to need a bottle of the pink stuff. But you know what? You know what's a personification of the pink stuff? Eric Taylor and the crew at Barricade Cyber, because they know how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. They know how to help businesses recover. They have talked to threat actors. They're in the weeds, in the trenches. They've got the scars, right? You look at Eric Taylor, he's got the 1,000-yard stare because he's seen some stuff, okay? You can call him on his cell phone. You can get on his calendar right here. Just, guys, at a minimum, bookmark barricadecyber.com. So when you're in the thick of it and you're reacting emotionally instead of logically, you can just hit the easy button and get Eric Taylor and the crew there to help you out, okay? So thank you, Eric Taylor, for not just sponsoring, but also providing a service that's super valuable. All right, let's keep going.
Canadian police appear to be using advanced commercial spyware. In additional spyware news, a new report from researchers at Citizen Lab, which itself is based in Toronto, reveals that the Internet Protocol IP address of a spyware customer matches that of the general headquarters for the Ontario Provincial Police. The spyware in question is made by Paragon Solutions, which itself is owned by a Florida-based private equity firm, AE Industrial Partners. A spokesman for the Ontario Provincial Police, otherwise known as the OPP, said in a statement that, quote, the agency is required to receive judicial authorization to intercept private communications, a step it only takes to advance serious criminal investigations, end quote, adding that the force also, quote, uses investigative tools and techniques in full compliance with the laws of Canada, end quote.
Okie dokie. All right, so check this out. First off, if you're a big fan of coffee, this second cup of coffee I just took, Team Sippy cup, this cup I just made, friggin' good. That first sip was like nails. And not like drinking nails, like I don't know. It's like a Boston thing. Okay, so here's the deal. There are basically like civil rights groups, reporters that kind of check power to make sure that they're not abusing power. And just because Canada's America's top hat and they're wicked nice people and they play pretty good hockey, doesn't mean that people in power of government and law enforcement anywhere, whether it's Canada or it's Egypt, they will use the technologies that are available to them to achieve their goals, their outcomes, and push their agenda. And this is another example. Guys, I don't care if it's Pegasus spyware or Predator spyware or what's this one called? There's another one in here that they just graphite. I've never even heard of graphite spyware. Basically, this is a high-end, very expensive, I might add,
Straight cash, homie.
piece of technology that allows law enforcement to basically, it's like a modern-day 21st century wiretap, right? It allows them to monitor mobile devices for communications, geolocation, and basically interactivity, right? So what is this person doing? Where's this phone going? What locations? Who else is out at those locations? Is there going to be a gun buy? Is there going to be a drug deal? Is there going to be human trafficking? Whatever it is, law enforcement uses it in order to achieve civil society and protect citizens. But Oh my God, that's so funny, Marcus. But here's the thing: people in power abuse power, right? There's been numerous cases of law enforcement officers abusing their access to people databases so they could check on their ex-wife, or they could find out who their girlfriend's dating now, so they could go pay them a visit. We've seen it used by political officials to investigate their not their rivals, but the person running against them in a political campaign in order to dig dirt out so you can undermine their candidacy. Like, there's a lot of nefarious ways. Dude, we've seen it in more authoritative regimes to round up people who are dissents or dissenting opinions that are trying to, organize revolution and make those people disappear. So there's a lot of really bad use cases. And in this instance, I mean, honestly, the reason I just spent that time explaining the pros and cons of this and why this technology exists is because I hate to say it, but this story sounds like a nothing burger. Law enforcement is using commercial grade spyware, and they were unable to determine whether or not they were using it properly or improperly. Okay, like, dude, welcome to Friday. Welcome to a day that ends in Y. A law enforcement organization of any size, local, state, federal, is using commercial spyware to spy on criminals. Okay, like, thank you for the update. I'm gonna go ahead and go put this on a billboard on on the 401 or whatever. Wade Wells, tell me what highways out there, the 140, the 405, whatever it is. Like, this is nothing. This is nothing. Okay, maybe I missed it. The more important thing, as identified by Marcus Kyler, is that Citizen Lab showed that OPP has used surveillance tools to infect mobile devices in the past. So OPP, other people's property seems right on here, infecting other people's mobile devices. Oh my God. So there you go. Remind me if you can at Jawjacking about OPP and my fifth grade field trip to Faneuil Hall. I got a fun story about it. Okay, let's keep going.
Veeam patches backup and replication vulnerabilities. This particular defect, which has a CVE number and a CVSS score of 9.9, could allow for, quote, remote code execution by authenticated domain users, end quote. It affects numerous backup and replication versions in the 12.x range. According to a cybersecurity firm Watchtower, which reported the vulnerability, it is, quote, rooted in a broader issue within Veeam's deserialization mechanism, which Watchtower says the company has, quote, failed to properly address, end quote. Watchtower also points out that, quote, while the exploitation of the new vulnerability requires the attacker to be logged in, the authentication requirement is fairly weak. End quote.
Okay, really quickly. Also, I'm sorry. Dude, I love how Team SC has just gone off the rails. It's like how many people are in chat? 390 people. Of the 390 people that are in chat, I would say 170 are singing OPP's lyrics. About 125 are talking about left coast freeways, and then like 40 of us are are doing the news. Hey, really quickly, because I'm a stickler, I'm going back to this Canadian spyware story. This part right here bothers me. If you're watching on the live stream, you can see this. In the story, they said the internet protocol address of a spyware customer detected. Dude, the internet protocol address, like, literally, it's an IP address. Like, the acronym is ubiquitous. No one's saying it, like, I'm sorry, like, help desk? Yeah, my computer's, the internet's not working. Okay, I'm going to need you to give me your transport control protocol / internet protocol address, please. Like, what? Nobody says that. Jesus. Okay, so let's get back into this. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does. So Veeam is a really great technology, not sponsored. I'm just telling you, I've worked in organizations with Veeam. Veeam is super good, okay? It's not cheap either, but Veeam is really good for backups, recovery, like, not integration, but like, it just, Veeam's a slick, when I say slick, like, very nicely designed product. And because it's a backup solution, you really want to make sure that it stays secure and stays patched, right? So where's my, you got to patch it. Do I have that in here? There we go.
You gotta patch it.
Right. So anything that, like, and again, this is going to sound super biased, obviously, but anything that has to do with security, any software technologies that have to do with security, you have to be extra vigilant with, okay? So I'm talking firewalls, I'm talking identity and identity and access solutions like SailPoints or, like your Oktas, whatever, anything that controls access, your backup and recoveries, like your Veeams, your vulnerability scanners to a lesser degree, like those technologies, you definitely want to protect. Obviously, you want to protect IT infrastructure like Active Directory and like that. But like for the most part, when like your EDR solution, when those get dorked up or nerfed, you've got bad problems because now the things that you're depending on to help you be secure are compromised. You don't know what is going on. Hold on, what do we got here? No, not the pink stuff. Really quickly, I know this is a minute ago. The pink stuff, Pepto-Bismol, right? Deal with tummy troubles. Okay. Here's the TLDR, guys. This one has a CVSS score of 9.9. I can't copy and paste. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna go. This is my SOP, guys. Whenever I hear about some type of CVE that could potentially impact my organization, I immediately go to djbsec.github.io. I copy and paste it into this sweet EPSS score thing, and I hit get results. Because the EPSS, this thing's a 9.9, which is really bad. Not to be confused with Brooklyn 9.9, which is really, really good. But I need to know if I need to get off this stream right now and go fix this, or if this is something that I can, punt till the maintenance window Saturday night. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at how easy this thing is to exploit. It can be, okay, so you can chain it together with another bug, and you can delete any system with service account privileges. Okay, so here's the concern here. Number one, ransomware threat actors love deleting backups, okay? That's like part of their shtick. So if they can get into your Veeam instance, and it sounds like with this one, they can delete files, they're obviously going to delete all the files, and then you're going to be screwed. So you definitely want to make sure that you don't get this one. So this one's not even in the EPSS repository yet, so we don't have a score for it. TLDR, Veeam's a great solution. If you have it in your organization, chances are you're a larger organization, so you probably have a dedicated IT team member who's, or at least dedicated or part-time dedicated to managing this solution. Make sure that they are applying these patches, okay? Let's keep going.
Subsea cables can listen for potential sabotage. Following up on our coverage of subsea internet cable sabotage, especially off Scandinavia, ostensibly by dragging ships' anchors across them, technology is now being refined to detect people or machinery lurking near a cable, or anchors being dragged toward them on the ocean floor, or even the sounds of anchors being dropped into the water from ships. This technique is based on the pulses of light that travel along a fiber optic cable and the tiny reflections that sometimes bounce back along that line based on physical interactions such as temperature, vibrations, or physical disturbance to the cable itself. Although this is a relatively new and evolving technique, it could give subsea cable operators greater opportunity to protect against sabotage, especially given that 95% of all internet traffic travels through them at some point.
All right, so first of all, obviously, if we're going to use the word sabotage, the first thing that comes to mind is Beastie Boys, right? Can't stand it, you know I planned it. Okay, so check it out. Like, this is absolutely a treasure in the United States. If you don't know Beastie Boys sabotage, please put it on your Spotify playlist ASAP and get some of this. Oh, it's so good. I can't help but like flip out when I hear this song, and flip out in a good way. Okay, so undersea cables, if you didn't know, like the internet, the world's connected, and like it doesn't just like magically flow across, land masses. There is undersea cabling. And right now, you could see in the graphic, there's like a ton of it going directly into New York City from Europe, right? Like the London Exchange, Germany, up into the New York Stock Exchange. Threat actors know that if you attack layer 1, right, the physical layer, it's effective, right? Listen, here's the deal, guys. Like, if you've ever been like trying to troubleshoot, much like me and my internet, you try to solve all the technical problems first, and then you realize that the friggin' internet isn't plugged in, or you're using like an 80-foot Ethernet cable to run like a 6-inch a 6-inch line, which is true. Base case and DJ BSEC love reminding me that I did that. But if you can attack that layer 1, it's game over, right? And basically, nation states know that, where they can just basically take a boat, drag an anchor, rip the cable up, and it's a pain in the A to correct. So here's what I have to say about this one, okay? Yes, I think it's cool. It's cool that we can use vibrations and discrepancies with the actual light at a very, very, almost like microscopic scale to determine that there's abnormalities or anomalies happening with the light going through a fiber optic line in order to tell if something's happening. Guys, let me just break something down to you. First of all, there's going to be massive amounts of false positives, right? Because say someone detonates like a freaking North Korea's launching missiles into the Pacific Ocean all the time, right? So when that happens, I'm sure it's going to disrupt the fiber optics. So you're going to get false positives. So what's the value? Then on top of that, let's just pretend that I'm a Russian fishing boat. Like secretly though, I'm like dragging an anchor trying to disrupt network infrastructure between Finland and Slovakia or whatever, right? So what? Let's just say that you have no false positives. Let's say that this is an entirely accurate and super successful attack technique. Detection technique, right? So Wade Wells is on the other end of a SIM, and the alert comes in, and it's like, we definitely see an impending anchor that's being drugged that's going to destroy this fiber optic line. Then what? You can't just like push a button and make the fiber optic line bury itself under the dirt, right? Like, it just pisses, like, what's the awareness value? Are you going to dispatch like an F-18 Hornet to go what? Circle around where the boat is? Are you going to send like cigarette boats like it's Miami 1983 and you're going to go try to like intercept coke dealers? Like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting so worked up. It must be the coffee, but like, this is cool. But so what? I hate to be that guy, but I am that guy right now. Let's keep going.
Thanks to our episode's sponsor, Delete Me. Data brokers bypass online safety measures to sell your name, address, and social security number to scammers. Delete Me scours the web to find and remove your private information before it gets into the wrong hands by scanning for exposed information and completing opt-outs and removals. With over 100 million personal listings removed, Delete Me is your trusted privacy solution for online safety. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and use the promo code CISO at checkout. Again, the only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and enter the code CISO. One other quick note.
Oh my God. Hold on one second. They're like pumping their...
The CISO series has just launched a new podcast called Security You Should Know. We have more details about this at the end of the episode.
Tricky. Okay. Cramming in a CISO series advertisement too. All right. Hey, so check it out really quickly. I do want to bring up Justin Gold's advice here. Again, I flipped out about the subsea cable and what's the big so what. This same technology could be used to detect when a Jaeger or a kaiju is going to erupt from the ocean. So let's not sleep on this technology, right? Great capability. It just hasn't been utilized correctly. But this right here, if we're going to deploy Jaegers, like, let's go. I'm all in on this one. By the way, I like secretly love Pacific Rim. It's like Shawshank Redemption. Like if it's on, I'm watching it. Period. Full stop. All right, let's do our laws. Oh my God, guys, I got to tell you, shout out to all of you. Thank you so very much. Like, I know the production of the show is different when I'm on the road, and I know I only have one hand because I have to hold this mic the whole time. So things are a little slower. I'm at 720p because the internet at this hotel is not good. But I do want to say Thank you. I love doing the show. I love all the experiences. I love talking with all of you. And I want to say thank you. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate it. I feel like people don't take time to appreciate as much as they should. So I want to, deliberately say thank you. I also want to say thank you to the mod team. Justin Gold's in here. Eric Taylor's behind the glass. Casually Joseph, Jenny, Kimberly, the whole team. It just makes the show more enjoyable. And I love doing it with you guys. I don't like being alone. Thanks to the stream sponsors, right? Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Antisyphon, ThreatLocker, doing what they do. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays, my friends, is none other than James McQuiggan at 35,000 Feet's Jokes of the Week. Now, James McQuiggan, longtime community member, known for his dad jokes. He is bringing the heat. He's at 35,000 feet because the guy spends more time in the air than he does on the ground. But here we go. He said, how many therapists... He said everybody really liked the light bulb jokes last week, so we're going to do more light bulb jokes. How many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? How many therapists does it take to change a light bulb, Augusta Delgado? Let me tell you. 1. But the bulb really has to want to change. Oh, I don't have the sounder here. Ha ha. Okay, how many stormtroopers does it take to change a light bulb? How many stormtroopers does it take to change a light bulb? None, because they are all on the dark side. Okay. I like the therapist one better. But yeah, so stormtroopers don't change light bulbs. They're on the dark side, y'all. Okay. How many procrastinators does it take to screw in a light bulb? If you're a procrastinator in chat, don't answer because you know the answer. How many procrastinators does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. It only takes 1, everybody. But they're probably going to do it tomorrow, so don't worry about that, okay? All right, manual sound effects, Team Sippy Cup, let's go. Coming in strong with the final joke of the week, James. How many programmers does it take to screw in a light bulb? How many programmers? Code Brew, you're a programmer. How many programmers does it take to screw in a light bulb? Well, the answer's quite obvious. None. That is a hardware problem. Programmers ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. Thank you so very much, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Again, guys, if you see James out on the road or at a conference, do say hi. He's a really great guy. He's a personal friend of mine. I'm very, very happy and pleased to be able to call him friend. All right. Good job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the dad jokes. Let's get our la-la-la-las on. Alpha Sierra, please lead us off. And then we're going to slide right back into the news and finish strong. All right, let's get back. Sorry, I had to look at what time I'm speaking today. Make sure I got to the conference on time. 10 o'clock local time. Oh, this is going to be on YouTube. Huh. There you go. I guess if you guys want to watch my talk later, it'll be on YouTube. Here, I'll drop a link in chat. I didn't even know that. There we go. The whole DakotaCon is going to be on YouTube. All right. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Finish strong, y'all.
Nation-state groups hit organizations with Microsoft Windows Zero-Day. Researchers at Trend Micro discovered and reported this particular 8-year-old defect to Microsoft 6 months ago, but no remediations or fixes have arrived as of yet. This vulnerability does not yet even have a CVE number, but it, quote, allows attackers to execute hidden malicious commands due to the way Windows displays the contents of shortcut.lnk files, also known as shell link files, end quote. According to the researchers' report, a link to which is included in the show notes, state-sponsored groups have been exploiting the zero-day since 2017, targeting governments, think tanks and organizations in the finance, cryptocurrency, telecom, military, and energy sectors. This again according to Trend Micro.
Dude, what?
CISA adds,
How is this not the lead story? My God. Dude, what was the lead story today? Data breach at a spyware company. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Listen, this one's kind of nuts, dude. So Trend Micro discovers an 8-year-old bug. Okay, so it doesn't mean it's been around for 8 years. It just means that the tech was made 8 years ago and they're discovering it now. That doesn't mean threat actors didn't discover it sooner and it's just been kind of kept as a nation state tool. Eternal Blue, anybody? But they reported it 6 months ago. Now, remember, Trend Micro is like a big boy cybersecurity company. So they're not... Normally, if you find a bug with Microsoft, you're going to give it like the 60 or 90-day window, and then you're going to publish it so you can get your, get your flowers or whatever and help promote your company or promote yourself as a security researcher. The fact that it's gone 6 months tells me one of two things. Either A, Trend Micro is just like, you don't get to have your flowers, security researchers who found this, or B, and more likely, this is a gross vulnerability and they didn't want to make it public in order to assist threat actors. Now, that doesn't seem to be the plan, though, because according to this, 6 different nation states are actively exploiting the 0 day to commit espionage, steal data, cryptocurrency, etc. I mean, at the end of the day, this 0 day is allowing them to do whatever they want. So let me look at this really quickly also. The fact that Microsoft hasn't released a patch yet for this is really weird too. 6 months is a long time to not, address something that's getting actively popped by all these people. They say they're tracking it as ZDI CAN 25373. I've never seen that naming convention before, honestly. Windows shortcut exploit abuses 0 day and widespread APT. Okay, hold on one second. Let's get to the bottom of this. There must be an infographic for this one. Bro, how's there no infographic? Give me something visual to consume. What a missed opportunity, dude. This thing screams infographic. Okay, so check it out. I don't research prep for these shows, but this seems like a big story, so I do want to spend a minute on it. All right. State-sponsored groups have been exploiting it since 2017. Mostly targeting government. How did this not go detected? So Daniel Lowry, who's in chat right now, also go check out Daniel Lowry's YouTube channel. I think you can find it by saying Daniel Lowry. He's got a live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time today, so in an hour and a half, where he's going to answer your questions, and he's a great person for the community as well. So Daniel says, this is from Microsoft, while the UI experience described in the report does not meet the bar for immediate servicing under our severity classification guidelines. Okay. So 0 day vulnerability getting ramrodded everywhere by nation states, but not a big deal. We're good here. It's a feature, not a bug. Dude, are these guys like in the same like private Discord channel or private Telegram channel with each other? North Korea, Iran, Pakistan, Russia, China, they're all exploiting this thing. Now, it says cybersecurity criminals are doing it. Guys, I've seen this in Russia. I assume other countries are doing it. But cyber criminals are kind of given, I don't want to call it top cover, but like they're allowed to kind of operate as long as they don't attack the actual country that they're operating in. And if they get tapped by the country to do things, they do them, which helps with misattribution and helps with plausible deniability and stuff like that. So how do you avoid getting popped by this thing? It looks like it comes through a LNK file attached to an email. This is super easy to like avoid. Just don't friggin'... Hold on one second. Oh, Evil Corp. So Evil Corp I haven't seen in a minute. Not to be confused with the fictitious one in Mr. Robot, but Evil Corp is like a pretty legit, scary cyber criminal organization. This whole story is a lot of like FUD, basically, like, oh, cyber criminals are doing all the things, blah. But there's no technical details in here. Proof of exploit submitted shows you can make a shortcut.lnk file. Okay, so if you're running Microsoft Defender, it will catch that, which is great. The user interface problem is such that Windows depicts a file. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. Essentially, you get an LNK file, which is a link file, and when you double click it, it'll run, and it'll detonate a payload that can exploit whatever this bug is. There's two things here. One, oh, here we go. Eric Taylor just dropped a link in chat. Is this the same one that I just clicked on anyways? Hold on. Yeah, this is the same story I clicked on. Oh, good. Thank you, Trend Micro, for giving us a nice, clean summary, okay? Nearly 1,000 malicious LNK files. Again, guys, from a TTP perspective, it's simple to change the file. Let's see. Ooh. All right. One of the something stands out to me here. These are the countries that are executing this attack. It definitely seems like it's a good old boy. Like they all go to the same gym and they're sharing like intel here. Microsoft Defender has detections in place to detect and block this threat activity, and the Smart App Control provides that. Okay, so it's just basically donut charts and graphical maps showing you the same thing. TLDR, guys, what I would suggest is, here's what I would suggest, okay? This seems like a really big deal. It does also seem like Defender's going to catch it. If it were me, here's my suggestion to you. Number one, make sure that your EDRs are updated. Number two, if you can sometimes verify that your EDR is going to protect from this exploit, right? This CVE or exploit. Number three, if you have the time, you can actually do it in a lab, right? Like get this proof of exploit, detonate it if you have access to it, right? And then confirm that your EDR, because like Microsoft Defender catches it, but maybe whatever, CrowdStrike doesn't, or you know what I mean? So, and then also if you can, again, you go through different levels of how much time and do you have, but you can go threat hunting for this too, right? This may have already detonated in your environment, and you go back and look at logs and see if people are getting LNK files in email as attachments, see if anyone's, detonated something. If you can look at process trees and see if, there's an LNK file somewhere in there, and then I didn't read the whole thing here. There was probably, I have to imagine, like PowerShell getting detonated and stuff like that. Okay. Also, make sure you patch, right? I do want to say shout out to Daniel Lowry, Eric Taylor, everybody in chat who's weighing in on this story and providing additional context and additional value. Thank you so much, guys. It takes a village. There's no patch for this currently, even more gross. So even more important to make sure your EDR catches it, frankly. Okay? Hold on one second.
Nakivo Vulnerability to KEV Catalog. This most recent addition to the Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog affects Nakivo, that is Nakivo, specifically their backup and replication service for which there is evidence of active exploitation. The vulnerability, which has a CVSS score of 8.6, is, quote, an absolute path traversal bug that could allow an unauthenticated attacker to read files on the target host, including configuration files, backups, and credentials. It affects all versions of the Nakivo software prior to version 10.11.3, and of course, federal civilian executive branch agencies are now required to apply the necessary mitigations by April 9th.
Okay. Two things. One, about this particular story, if you are running Nakivo backup and replication, right? I've never heard of this before, but whatever, it's a product. If you're running it, you absolutely want to be mindful of this. Typically, you're not going to have your backup and replication solutions internet facing. That's kind of what we call in the business a bad architecture design. It doesn't mean that it can't access the internet, but you typically wouldn't have it internet facing, right? Just like if you were running Veeam, right? We talked about Veeam earlier in the, where's Veeam? We talked about Veeam earlier as a solution that does this that I think is super slick. Never heard of Nakivo, but it's same thing, right? It's a solution that does that. You want to make sure as a security technology that it's secured, limited users, right permissions, not having unnecessary services, all the best practices. This one is on the KEV, the CISA list of known exploited vulnerabilities, which means that CISA is seeing exploitation out in the wild, which should mean to you that this escalates as an urgency to get sorted out. Let me see. Is there a CVE that we can drop into the old DJ BSec tool? There we go. Let's check it out. As far as I'm concerned, when it gets on the CVE or a KEV, known exploited vulnerability list, it becomes an issue, right? It's like, whoop, we got to go. Let's see. Getting the results right now from DJ BSec. The other thing I want to point out really quickly about this story, this is the second story where Watchtower as a security researcher was mentioned. I forget the other one. Was it the Veeam one? Let's see. Was it Veeam? Yeah. So Veeam, you could see Watchtower. It seems like the researchers at Watchtower are focusing on backup and replication solutions and getting after them. I don't know about them, but shout out to Sunny at watchtower.com. Great research. And this is listen, I know people are like, "Oh my god, why do I have to have a presence online to get a job in cybersecurity?" Like this right here, this is like gold, right? I don't know Sunny, I don't know Watchtower, but I know now I do. And I know, and this is proof in the pudding, right? So just personal branding side thought. I don't know if you can download this tool to confirm whether or not your particular instance of Nakivo is still vulnerable. A lot of times you'll be able to do this, right? You can patch it or configure it, whatever your technology is. Listen, here's a pro tip, okay? When there's a technology that you depend on in your organization and there's exploitation going on or whatever, and you patch it or you repair it or you fix it, sometimes if you have the bandwidth, it benefits you to actually confirm that the configuration you made or the update you put in place actually stops the attack from happening or actually prevents the exploitation from occurring, right? Hope is not a great strategy. You can have a lot of confidence that I did the things I was supposed to do, so now it's not a problem. But actually pen testing or testing, this is a good, this will confirm with 100% confidence that, yes, we're protected from that particular attack. I mean, essentially, that is what purple teaming is in a nutshell. All right, let's keep going.
Telecom company, the latest victim of Hellcat's Jira campaign. Representatives from ASCOM, ASCOM, the global telecommunications provider headquartered in Switzerland, have confirmed a cyber attack on their IT infrastructure in which its technical ticketing system was breached. This attack appears to be the work of a hacker group named Hellcat, Hellcat, which is busy targeting Jira servers worldwide using compromised credentials. A member of the hacking group allegedly told Bleeping Computer that the ASCOM attack resulted in theft of source code from multiple products, details about various projects, invoices, confidential documents, and issues from the ticketing system. The vector for the attack was their Jira ticketing system, which has become a common attack method for the Hellcat hackers. Other companies who have suffered similar Jira-based attacks of late include Schneider Electric, Spanish telecom group Telefonica, French telecom company Orange Group, as well as British multinational car maker Jaguar Land Rover.
Okay.
Dark Crystal.
So, I mean, it sounds like this Hellcat threat actor group is got a playbook on how to compromise Jira. Now, Jira is a very, very, very popular ticketing system. If you work, whatever, at any organization that's of some size, when you'll introduce a ticketing system, this is kind of like part of ITIL and the ability to measure metrics and do reporting to see what's our most common, end user problem, or how many minutes were you on the phone last month, or how many tickets did you close, whatever. If you're a SOC analyst like, Wade Wells, how many reports did you do, or how many detections did you write, or how long does it take you to close a ticket when it comes in, right? Whatever. But for better or worse, a lot of information gets stuck into those Jira ticketing systems, right? There's wikis and like, here's best practices. Sometimes, reset customer's password to XYZ, re-imaged machine, like whatever. So there's a lot of sensitive information in there. This Hellcat group, they're very good at getting it. It sounds like that's their bag. They've attacked many, many, many well-known, popular, wealthy, companies. Jaguar, the car manufacturer, Land Rover was another one that I saw in here. I've never heard of Ascom, but I guess they're a large, Swiss global IT company. So again, Hellcat doesn't care. They're not targeting manufacturing only. They're literally criminals of opportunity. They're obviously looking for indicators or fingerprints of Jira instances and then punching them in the mouth, okay? Hold on, what do we got here? Is this, Justin, is this like a Simply Cyber team, or what are we doing? Can you give me context to this? I mean, I see the screenshot, but give me context to that, and I will promote it. Here's the TLDR, guys. If you are running Jira as your ticketing system, you may want to, I would suggest you take a look at this and make sure, like, whatever the attack vector is buttoned up. Oh, shit, that's right. Hey, guys, we're going to actually run a giveaway, too. Oh my God, I'm such a yard sale. Here, let's finish this. Stay tuned. We're going to do a giveaway. So really quickly, my man Chris Whitlock giving me the assist. We got a lot going on, okay? We're going to do Jawjacking. I'm going to do the last one. Also, we gave away 5 packages of the Rekka Comics recent release, The Future Is comic series. There's a hard book cover and there's 2 soft book comics, okay? So three pieces. We raffled off 5 bundles, and 3 of the people came forward. The other 2, we messaged multiple times. They have not came forward, and it's been over a week. So now we're going to raffle 2 more off. So if you are interested, you're going to be able to win it because we're going to do it live in chat, okay? Like live. So let me do this way. Enter Rekka, I guess. Hold on. Let's do Rekka. Hold on. I have to configure it. Wait a second. My God, what an absolute yard sale. Hold on. Hold on. You guys get to see how the sausage is made here. Hold on. Yeah, I see you. Hold on. What's the keyword? Keyword giveaway. Next, let's do the keyword. Everybody gets a win. Enter the keyword. Rekka. Okay, it's the word hacker backwards. Okay. Enter the word Rekka. Rekka. Yeah, there we go. Everybody's getting in here. There we go, FedEx. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you, Justin Gold. Okay, so while that queues up, just, dude, if you're running Jira, friggin' go check this out, all right? Or send this to your IT team and be like, hey, listen, solid assist. Also, by the way, if you're looking to break into the industry and you're going to interview with a company of any size, they probably have a ticketing system. It wouldn't hurt to get familiar with this particular issue, even if they're not running Jira, and be able to speak to it. All right, let's finish.
Rat targets Ukrainian defense via malicious signal messages.
Oh, Dark Crystal.
Although cyber warfare is nothing new to the Ukraine warfront, this new campaign is targeting defense sectors, specifically employees of enterprises of the defense industrial complex and individual representatives of the defense forces of Ukraine, with Dark Crystal Rat, also known as DC Rat. According to the Computer Emergency Response Team of Ukraine, that is CERT-UA, the campaign, quote, uses malicious messages via Signal app that contain supposed meeting minutes. Some of these messages are sent from previously compromised Signal accounts so as to increase the likelihood of success of the attacks, end quote.
All right.
Make sure to join us.
Was Dark Crystal the one that had like the creepy looking Muppets? Do you guys remember that? Hold on, Dark Crystal movie. Like, again, I'm aging myself here. This is like borderline too old for me. 1982 film. This is like nightmare fuel. right here. Look at these oh my god. I'm so sorry. Dude, I get out in like the Midwest and I just start dropping bombs. Yeah, look at these things. Dude, people had a problem with the anime character movie with the big eyes. This is like hold my beer all day long. Anyways, I'm sorry if I just ruined. If you're like in Australia and you're about to go to bed and I just put this in your mind, I do apologize. I'm probably not going to sleep on the plane anymore. Just looking over my shoulder for one of these Muppet-looking things. Okay, I'm totally off my mark right now. Okay, so listen, malicious signal messages. All right, so here's the TLDR on this one. I don't care if it's Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, Messenger. Dude, text messaging is just a message vehicle. Email, it was, popular, but text messages, welcome to the party, pal. It's a new Welcome to the party, pal. Signal protects your encryptions at, your communications in transit and at rest. That's fine. But if someone sends you a piece of malware, hey, Stephen Muir, take it easy, buddy. One entry per person. You don't need to spam it. Just educate your end users, especially if they're using Signal and they think that they're being super secretive. This is another one of those ones where, like, I said it before, like, if you're looking for a job and you already got a job, you're going to act like wicked dodgy at work, and you're not going to be, like, disclosing to anyone that you're checking email or downloading apps to be able to, like, do technical assessments. Same thing here. Just educate your end users. Bro, if someone sends you a file in Signal and you don't have 100% confidence that you know who they are, chances are it could, well, not chances are, but like you're taking a risk of malware. So just, chill out. I'm surprised, honestly, that it took this long. Also, like, dude, I hate to sound like, it's easy for me to say from my comfortable seat in Madison, South Dakota, but bro, like, you're in Ukraine and you're actively being like invaded by Russia, and you're like downloading like files via Signal from people you don't really know. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have to assume your threat model has to include an elevated height of risk of being targeted. Like, I don't know why you would fall for this. At the end of the day, basically, this is a remote access tool. So basically, essentially, this is just the same thing over and over again. You basically get given malware, you detonate it by installing it on yourself under your own permissions, and then the threat actors wearing your pants, right? And then their calls coming from inside the house, and you're screwed. So, period, full stop. This is what it looks like. It's a friggin' executable that pulls down from a C2 server. What do you think? As much as this is a news story and this is an active attack, this is the same playbook that we've seen 100 times over. Like, in fact, for people looking to break in, like, this is a very specific story. No one in a job interview you're going to go to is going to know about Dark Crystal Rat or necessarily malicious signal messages. Like, that's maybe not going to hit exactly with the interviewer, but this attack technique, just swap out the name of the malware. Dark Crystal Rat. You could call it Quasar Rat, ZooSpot. Like, insert new one. Targets Ukrainian defense. You could swap that out. That's a variable too. Targets Scandinavian government. Targets General Motors. And then the final part, malicious signal messages. Swap that out. That's a variable too for a communication vehicle via Telegram channels, via malicious website impersonation, via email, right? This is like, choose your, like, I feel like I'm playing Mad Libs here, okay? All right. So check it out. We are about to get, that's it for the news. I've gone a few minutes over, but this is the mobile episode, so I'm a bit of a yard sale, and that's okay. That's okay. Guys, I want to remind everybody we're going to be doing Jawjacking in a hot minute. And then, as always, we've got, hold on. I've got one hand, so it's hard to type wicked fast. Daniel Lowry, IRL, YouTube. Good thing that's on my recent search. Look at this guy right here. This guy right here. Not only can he shred on a guitar, he's also a champion of the people. Let me drop a link. You guys, if you got time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. This is where you want to be. It is hot.
Spicy.
All right, there's Daniel Lowry. All right, let's go ahead and draw winners. Thank you again, Chris Whitlock, for reminding me. We're going to draw winners right now. This is for the Future Is Now, or the Future Is Rekka. Here, let me see this. So check this out, y'all. This is what you're competing for. Jason Blanchard and the team over at Rekka donated this. It's a hard book cover and 2 comics. Wade Wells has one. I think Wade Wells is in chat. He's definitely submitted. It's a really cool package, okay? I hope everyone can enjoy it. I made a little video about it, but let's go ahead and pick winners. Our first winner is going to be, I don't know. Do I have a sounder? Here we go. Whatever. Good luck to everybody. Berg. Berg is our first winner. Berg. So, Berg, if you are in chat, Chris Whitlock, can you, like, at Berg? Berg. Is Berg here? Yeah, Berg. Hi. Basically, you need to go to Discord, okay? That's what you need to do. And connect, and we just basically got to get your email. Okay, here we go. Our next winner for the final prize is Ernie Hernandez. Ernie Hernandez, welcome to the party, pal. And congratulations, Ernie Hernandez. Hi. Just please go to the Discord. I'm trying to, like, mod and host and produce and all that at the same time. How to participate and how to win. Make a shorts. You had to enter Rekka in chat 10 minutes ago, and we already drew the winners. So, all right, congratulations to everybody that participated. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the surprise giveaway, random renegade giveaway. Ernie Hernandez saying, wow, I love it. All right, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Remember at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 Central. I think I'm in the Central Time Zone. It's 8:13 here. DakotaCon is happening. They're streaming the whole conference on YouTube. My talk will be at 11 a.m. Eastern Time if you want. No pressure, y'all. You do you. I will go get Eric Taylor. We might have some other people in chat. We're going to go panel jawjacking. Might just be me and Eric. All right, guys. I'm Jerry. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber, guys. I had a banger of a time. I want to say thank you to all of you. Coming to you live from the mobile studio. I will be back in the Low Country studio on Monday. Look at the sun's coming through here. The video says 10 a.m. Eastern Time. What video says 10 a.m. Eastern Time? No. I think the conference starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Poner Joe. Like the whole DakotaCon. I don't start. There's a keynote before me. I'm not the headline. Unless the keynote's an opening act. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do jawjacking, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I'll be right back, and we're going to answer your questions. Holler! And Daniel Lowry, if you want to get in here. Anyone wants to get in on the panel, we can try to make that happen. All right, where's my... I got one hand and, like, no screen real estate. All right, here we go. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Hold on. A complete yard sale here. Like, I'm trying to get rid of OBS so I can see the camera. Otherwise, it's going to look like a donkey show. Here, let me just introduce Eric Taylor. Hi, Eric.
Howdy.
Eric Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Forensics Officer at Barricade Cyber, also a longtime community member and mod for Simply Cyber. And I'll just leave it like this, frankly. The mobile studio is a lot of, chopsticks, duct tape, things I found around the house. So we're making it happen. But how's your day going, Eric?
Good, man. I'm going to turn on some music because I have the power.
I like it. All right. Make sure everybody can hear. Marcus Kyler's in chat. Good to hear you. So Berg, if you can, hey, Chris Whitlock, are you around? Chris, can you help? Can you just like at Berg and Ernie Hernandez, just go to the Simply Cyber Discord server in general chat and just say like hi at Chris Whitlock or something, or at Gerald Auger, and we'll get you what you need. I don't want you to put your email address in general chat. Like we need to get you in
Why?
DMs.
We want to invite them to have a bunch of new friends.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want you to dox yourself. Okay, so we're here to answer all your questions, AMA style. While we're queuing up, Eric, the question
Sure.
was earlier in chat by Sean. He's got a GED and some certs. Can he get a job in cybersecurity?
Yeah.
There you go. Eric owns a company. I own a company. And you absolutely can. Right now in 2025, practical skills are hugely valuable. I actually got asked a question by one of my cadets. I teach at the Citadel Military College, if you didn't know. I got asked by one of my cadets yesterday. He said, I want to get a master's. Should I get a master's in cybersecurity or computer science? And I told him 100 times out of 100, get a master's in computer science. If like you want to work in the industry and you're really trying to maximize your opportunity, because a computer science degree will give you the true foundation of how operating systems work, how networking works, understanding how IT really works. That way your cybersecurity skills are understanding how to exploit, how to weaponize, how to defend, those type of things.
Yeah, let me give it a little bit more in-depth answer. So, those who did not catch the Red Summit 2025 of Black Hills Information Security, me and John Strand actually went through this same topic, where he even has people on his team that don't have a GED or doesn't even have a GED, high school diploma or anything, but they have the technical ability and they showcase it by having the GitHub repos, and they have all these things to show the technical aptitude of the candidate, and they perform every day, right? The only time these things will actually become a major issue for you, and just let you know, Jerry, I'm hearing an echo. I'm not sure if it's just me, but the one time that it will become a major issue is the contracts that the company has. So like we're going ready to try to get some government contracts for digital forensics incident response, and there's a lot of nuances and things like that, and going through certain contracts will require certain parameters to be met to be awarded the contract, right? By default, making sure you're NIST 800-171 prepping for self-attestation of CMMC for later verification later. These things are part of that. So, going through security framework, and can people pass, background checks and get potential security clearances, depending on the type of work that you're going to be doing. That's what the requirements of the contract. So is it to a point that they are not having a GED or things like that may become a factor? Maybe, but I fully suspect that that's not going to be a major issue for most general businesses.
Yeah, and people in chat are weighing in right now. Like John V, he works with tons of people, PhDs, masters, etc. He didn't graduate high school. Again, practical skills reign supreme. A master, like the master's degree, I'm not saying it's not valuable. I have two of them, right? So like I have a bias, so it's worth pointing out. But I do think learning, getting a master's will give you a deeper understanding across different dimensions that you may not necessarily get when you work at a job, because you're not working in a specific space. But you don't need it. And as Eric mentioned, practical skills are really, really valuable. FedEx says, don't you think you get paid less without a degree? Yeah, that's true too. Like
Maybe.
you can be not abused by that, but it can certainly be used by HR when they're calculating your compensation.
I don't know. It really it depends on the job title and what you're doing, right? I know so many developers that make way more than a CISO. It's because of their talent and what they have. Like there's so many companies that still run on legacy applications that most of the new developers just don't have the skills for, and they will make much more than even a CISO makes because of that legacy knowledge that they possess. So it very much is a situational item. So your mileage may vary.
Exactly.
But I do typically say if you're going to go for management style, you're going to go for CISO, you're going to go for CI, CCP, or whatever, all the letter soup, if you will. Then yeah, go get your associates, go get your masters, whatever that may be. But do you have to have it? No. Do you need it to be successful in the industry? Absolutely not. It just to me, it really depends on your career path of what you want to do.
Maurice Martin says, what are your thoughts on the GRC toolkit as far as resume building? Maurice, I'd have to ask you I don't know what the GRC toolkit is. I mean, I'm freaking wearing a shirt that says run GRC right now, and I'm not sure what the GRC toolkit is. So if you can give some context to that, or if mods know something about it, I'm happy to weigh in on it, but I just haven't heard about it.
I'm going to Google it because this actually came up yesterday. And I'm like, oh, ask Jerry because he probably knows, because I thought I heard you say something about it. But let me Google it.
I mean, it might be something I'm not thinking of, or I call it something else, which is totally possible. But
so grc-toolkit.com.
All right, let's pull. I'll pull it up on stream here. GRC.
And I'll put it here in the private chat for you.
Even better. Look at this guy. Strong assist. I like it. All right, I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to do the window. We're going to do this. We're going to do this.
With real estate, I'll put myself in the green room so that can show
No. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just do this. Nobody judge my tabs. Okay, so this is GRC toolkit for job seekers. Land your dream job. Okay. All right. Maximize performance. Okay. So a lot of marketing type stuff here. This is a month. Okay. Wait a minute. I'll have to let's give Eric Taylor another question, and I will look at this while Eric's answering that question. And because this thing is I want to do some analysis on this before I just shoot from the hip. Let me see what are the questions.
All right, while we're doing that, you go ahead and look into that. I will dig into it into the comments. I've got 2 comments saying that the music is messing with them, so give me a second. I will change that music up.
Let's see. All right, a lot of people see some Coast Guard talk in here, Air Force talk. Here you go.
Air Force.
It's a follow-up question here, Eric. I'm in school for BS and cyber. Would it benefit me to dual major?
Again, it really depends on where you're going. I hate to say that, occupied to us, but it really does depend, right? Are you going for management? How broad of a landscape are you wanting to be in to have dual certs? To me, I don't know. Maybe me and Jerry have just been in it for so long that we've reached that spot where, our name is, reputation, so we don't need the quote unquote degrees, but new people may need it. I don't know. So, oh no, we are the best force, the Air Force. So you beat Space Force? I'm very salty today. We can go down this one. And don't even come at me, the Army, not ready to be Marines yet. All right, so question. My MSP has a solid Windows patching schedule. Congratulations, that's hard. However, we are trying to set up third-party patching schedule now, like Adobe Chrome. What is the best way to attack it? So you really need a tool that specializes in third-party. So there's an application called Nanite that I've been using for decades. Give me 1 second. And you can command line this thing all over the place. If you get the pro version, and I'm going to drop that into chat as myself. So definitely check out Nanite. If you're running an RMM tool like LabTech now, Automate, and a couple other ones that, there's some RMM tools that have this type of stuff integrated into it. So you may want to consider using that type of platform. You know, it's worked well for us. Does it get every third-party patch? No, absolutely not. But it does get a ton of them. So hopefully that is beneficial to you. Let me see if I can find any other questions real quick.
I'm ready to comment on this GRC toolkit.
Okay, while you do that, I will look for other questions. Go ahead,
All
sir.
right, so the question was, what do you think about this GRC toolkit? So first of all, I guess this is Baxter Cluis's business or site or whatever. He's a YouTuber. You could see in the little demo video, he's got his like silver plaque back there. I just looked at this, okay? So I'm not going to take anything away from him, okay? Right? He's you know, making a business and doing his thing. This is a SaaS product. It has a monthly fee associated with it. So $19 a month is where you can get started. Like free, you get basically a taste of it, right? $19 a month, you can get some access, and then for $49, you get, you know, priority access and expert support lessons, and you get access to a Discord server. So this is not unlike any of these other things. First of all, like I'm not gonna take away from this. Here's what I think. I would not pay for this personally. Okay, based on what I just saw, you're getting access to two things. One is a community. You can access a community for free, right? Black Hills, Hack Smarter, Simply Cyber. That doesn't mean that his community isn't great and doesn't add value. And you want to pay money and do it, that's fine. Again, I'm not trashing him. I'm just saying there are free alternatives that you can get access to. Number two, his actual SaaS product, it looks like you just type in your own words what you did at a job, and then it uses AI to generate more professional looking bullet points. Again, I pay for a tool that helps me manage a Kanban board, which I could do for free in Trello, and I'm fully aware of it, but it has a little couple features that I like, so I pay for it. So I'm not saying that paying for a solution that has free alternatives is a silly idea, because I'm outright saying I pay for solutions that help manage Kanban boards. But for this right here, I literally have a video on my channel. I literally have a video that shows you how to do exactly this, and I'll link it. But like literally taking what you do in your own words and giving it to AI and making it sound like a professional resume bullet, that's like use case number one for using AI. So having said all of that, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure it's a cool product that makes it super like less friction for people who are a bit intimidated or not really comfortable using AI or tools and stuff like that. But for me, I would use the free alternatives, because I don't see what the differentiator is between going to my YouTube video that shows you how to do this for free or going to a open cybersecurity community Discord server that you don't have to pay for. All right. Again, I'm sure he's a nice guy. It probably has helped people. I'm not talking about him or his community and trashing that. I'm just weighing in on my thoughts about how I would approach this if I was looking to get into the industry there. Okay, cool. Eric?
Okay, next question that's brought up from Endorphin Monkey. For Wawa Hackin' Fest, other than in-person training, what's the difference between in-person and virtual? What are your thoughts?
I mean, Endorphin Monkey, I mean, obviously when you travel to Wild West Hacking Fest, there's a lot of expense that goes with it. Hotel, flight, food. You can get the same training. I will tell you, if you're paying for it yourself, right, and it's just not really feasible for you, you will get, in my opinion, 90%, 95% of the training value. What you will not get is the networking piece of it, talking to other students, because there's going to be breaks. There's breaks all the time. And like, hey, what do you do? Or where are you from? Or whatever. Hey, let's grab lunch at the break. You get one-on-one time with the instructor. While the instructor can help you in a virtual training, it's much easier and much more accessible for them to walk over and look over your shoulder and be like this, this, and this. So you do get a different experience in-person training versus remote training. But I would say it's like 90% there. So for me, like if you're paying for yourself, you're not, the trade-off of getting remote training isn't high enough to warrant paying thousands of dollars to travel. But I'd also say Wild West Hacking Fest is a dynamite conference and worth going to all to itself. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. The people there, being able to just be able to communicate. I don't know if Wawa Hacking Fest does it differently, but I know some in-person versus virtual conferences, not all conferences are streamed, in a live format, like a track 1, track 2, track 3, whatever the case is. I think Wawa does do multiple tracks on their stuff, but I could be completely wrong. So I know sometimes being able to see all the content that you may be interested in obtaining may be a little harder in a virtual scenario. So that is one thing to consider. The events, meeting the other people, as much as I am an introvert, and if you've been around me long enough, especially in person, it's hard for me to talk, outside of, what we do every day or something like that. But, starting up those conversations is always a pain for me. So it's a lot easier at Wawa Hacking Fest because people are just generally nicer than going to a lot of the other conferences that I've ever attended to. So it's a better community for, just engaging, your fellow person, right? So another question from Brexy for you, Dr. Gerald Auger. GRC tools require a lot of data points, and in some organizations, those data points may not even exist. How do you solve for that?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a maturity question, right? Like, just because you buy a really expensive tool doesn't mean you get to increase your level of maturity for your information security program, right? Like, so that's a problem. Basically, what I'm hearing is you're buying a tool that's designed for a level 3 of 5 organization and you're level 0.5, right? So that's the problem. In order to mature it, in order to solve that, you actually have to build the information security program up. What I would recommend is actually looking like at your current state of maturity, right? Like use a NIST CSF or CIS 18, whatever, like baseline where your gaps are, and then figure out what your highest risk reduction, high value, low cost, low implementation timeline controls you can implement in order to improve that. Now, when you say GRC tools, really spreadsheets are the key GRC tool. Like if you are trying to do like vulnerability analysis or like feeding into some type of like dashboard, I'm not exactly sure which tools you're talking about, so it's kind of hard. But what I would say is think about what is it that you're trying to push forward as your initiatives, right? Like, what are you trying to get money for? Like, what are you doing in the next 6 months? If you don't have multi-factor authentication in place, for example, the data points you should be trying to gather are brute force attempts, successful malicious logins, credential stuffing, number of people in your organization with crap passwords, all these things, right? And provide those type of data points coupled with your GRC briefings of where your information security program is, what your threat landscape looks like, and all those things. Those are the data points you should be having. Telling somebody how many patches you applied last month, or how many assets you scanned, or how many shadow IT devices you found is whatever. It's fine, but like, to what end? Remember, when you're briefing and when you're providing metrics, the point is to help effectively communicate so you can drive an agenda, right? It's not just, this isn't like a group project in high school where you're just trying to like puke out some information and get an A on it. It's much more around driving initiatives. Okay.
The other question you did pin up about third-party patching was already answered while you were going through the GRC study kit, but we did have one just come in from Alpha Sierra for Wild Hacking Fest Deadwood. What are the best places to stay at that are still affordable? Alpha Sierra, I would probably say staying at the hotel, staying at the venue is going to be the best. Typically when I came in last time with the team, we stayed off site. We rented an Airbnb or a Verbo, whatever the heck it was, because we could put all of us together in one area. We implemented for the tech team to go passwordless. We had a lot of that stuff going on. So it was very beneficial for that. If you're going up with a team, then maybe that is something for you to potentially consider, getting that type of sorry about that. I'm trying to pin stuff and it's not working. The
Mhm.
So, consider that, but, as you're going in and out and stuff like that, I mean, staying as close to the venue is important to do. And I go out, unfortunately, to a lot of them, a lot of events. So, um, you know, consider that. Are you going with yourself? You're going with your team. But again, as close as possible is always key.
So a couple quick things. I'm gonna have to dip here in a minute because I got to break down and eat some, mini blueberry muffins downstairs before I head on over to the con. I do want to say a really quick shout out to Stacy Loki, who's at Wiz, who just got acquired by Google. So soon to be Googler, Stacy Loki, I think. Stacy, good to see you. She's a great follow on LinkedIn and just a great person as well. I'm going to answer this question because Fredon actually calls me out by name. Dr. A, can you use wired headset for the mobile studio, or you prefer the handheld mic? I was thinking about how to get both hands on the keyboard when you want to. Yeah, I mean, I could do a headset. Honestly, I use this earpiece to hear, and what I really would, I wouldn't do a headset. They actually make like mounts that you can put on your desk to put it right here. I just honestly, Fred, I'm a very like moving guy. If you've ever seen me give like talks or presentations, I love to move. I have a lot of energy. That's usually why I stand up in my studio and move around. You'll see me constantly moving the mic boom back and forth and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, it's part of the charm of the mobile studio is that I am a complete one-armed yard sale. So let's. All right, Eric, may I ask you, are you comfortable continuing on?
Am I comfortable? I don't know. This will be the first time I'm ever doing it. Am I ready for it?
I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Oh, hey, real quick. This is actually wild. DJ BSEC's results came back. This is for the not this creepy one. This was the that backup solution, Nakivo
Veeam.
or whatever it was. The one that CISA had a known exploited vulnerability catalog link for. Where is it? Not Hellcat, not Jira, not this one. Where is it? God damn it. Is this it? No. All right, well, whatever. There was one, you'll have to go back and look for it. CISA had released a known exploited vulnerability catalog announcement that there was, right here, Nakivo backup solution. This one right here. If you're running this right here, the EPSS score came back and it's not good. You have an 85% chance of getting hit by this in the next 30 days. And it's literally in the number one top percentile of how bad it is. Okay, so this is a stop the stream and go get this sorted out ASAP. The clock is ticking. Obviously, making changes on a Friday sucks, and you really don't want to do it in case it breaks something. But this is like safe money. This is like betting the pass line on craps. Like you're not going to get a more confident bet that this is going to get hit. So absolutely take advantage of this threat intelligence and get that sorted out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you in the very capable hands of my good friend, Eric Taylor.
Not
I gotta
capable.
go. Be well, everybody. Thank you all so very much. Remember, Daniel Lowry at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and then I will be speaking, and it'll be live streamed on YouTube, DakotaCon at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. He's Eric Taylor. Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Mod Team. Thank you, Team SC. I'll see you guys back in the studio on Monday. Peace.
Those are old, and watch Demolition Man, and their line was "Be well." Every time Jerry says "Be well," I think of Demolition Man movie. Does anybody else do that? Not really a question, but from Poner Joe, reminder this month's Meta CTF is Thursday, March 27th from 5 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for that, Poner Joe. I am seeing the comments that Wawa Hackenfest Hotel is already booked out. Did they even post the dates for the conference yet? Give me 1 second. Conference. Yeah, no, it's still for last year. Oh, no, here it is. October 7th through the 8th for pre-conference. So yeah, they're... Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I'm still trying to debate if I personally will be going this year or if it would just be Justin and Kimberly or what the situation is. So, and while I love going out to Deadwood, it's an awesome place to be, but the time required to travel out there is just so darn extensive that it's painful. All right, I've got some queued up here. Let me just see if there's any new ones. Go back to... That one is pinned. That one's pinned. Okay, let me get over to the pinned here. FedEx, I'll go in lieu of Joseph. If it was only that simple from a business perspective. Question comes from LinkedIn. Unfortunately, we don't know the LinkedIn user's name. If you're hiring for your team, what are you looking for during the interview as a cyber hiring manager? Passion. Passion over everything. You know, do I think that they're going to, you know, really get after it and try to do their homework and get their stuff done? The travel was bad enough. As someone coming from a customer service and warehouse manufacturing background, where do you think those skillets would be useful in cyber? So Endorphin Monkey, I think going from warehouse manufacturing background, you're going to be going into help desk, and dealing with people is your best asset because you've been dealing with, you know, your warehouse manager, you've been dealing with other colleagues, you've been dealing with the freaking truckers, and you know you've been able to, you know, work under a timeline to get trucks loaded, unloaded in time, so that way, you know, the manufacturing plant can run, things of that nature. So, I mean, you have some people skills there that could definitely be an asset to get into the help desk or potentially SOC analyst. John V, does Simply Cyber have any plans to host a hackathon? I don't know. I don't think so. But I am not in the loop of all of Dr. Gerald Auger's activities these days, so I am definitely speaking out of place. But definitely ask John, pin that question from Monday and ask him then. So that was already answered. Space Taco says soft skills for the win. Absolutely. Brexy echoes they have passion. Blood, Sweat, and Rage says, I've been really stressed about figuring out my next moves and making sure that they're the right ones. Do you have any advice? Yeah, just chill out. Because here's what's going to happen to you, Blood, Sweat, and Rage. You're overanalyzing and overthinking the entire process. It's good to give thought to what you're doing, But if you're getting stressed out about it, then the stress is just going to continue. When you actually get there, then you're going to worry about failing. You're going to worry about the imposter syndrome. You're going to start worrying about everything. That stress is just going to continue through. Take a break. Just step back. If you have a job right now, take a step back, relax, let the process happen. Right? Just think about it. Take your time. The answer will come to you. It always does. But when you are under that amount of stress, you're just not going to make a good decision, and you're going to hate it. Right? Remember, no and not right now are acceptable answers. We use it in business all the time. Like, yeah, that's a great idea, but just not right now. Let's just focus on some of these other things that we're doing. And no is an acceptable answer. So just say, just not right now. Let's go cook some burgers outside. And dude, I tell you what, some of the most interesting conversations and ideas that I have come up with have been from just mowing the yard. I'll be listening to a podcast and a thought will be like, ooh, that is a really good idea. So, just taking a step back. Kyle, passion equals give a crap. Exactly. FedEx is trying to socially engineer a Deadwood trip. Good luck with that. Let's see. There's a question. Somebody. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Hi, Eric. You were talking about troubleshooting tests when you gave prospective hires when you ran an MSP. Yep. Can you walk through some troubleshooting methodologies or example? So, one of the ones that I gave, if I think back, there's always been a printer issue. Yeah, so that reminds me. So yeah, the printer was, I want you to install printer drivers for this HP printer, but I don't want all the bloatware with it. It's a simple printer, but I don't need all the HP bloatware that goes with it. How do you solve that? To me, that answer is not very hard. That question is not hard. I'll give you the answer in a moment. I would also have a couple of workstations set up beside them. There were laptops, right? And I think not an HP printer. Yeah, exactly. It's the bane of everybody's existence, but how do you do it? Right? And I will give you the answer in just a few minutes. But there was I set up some file shares between workstations, and I just had like a KVM switch or whatever, and I just put random family pictures, and I just put just random files, random PDFs that I downloaded or whatever, but under one directory I would change the permissions on it so you couldn't see it. You can see everything else, but this one directory you couldn't see. It would give you an error, right? And have them troubleshoot. Why can I see all this other stuff, but I can't see it over here, right? So that was two things that immediately come to my mind. So back to the HP, install the Windows drivers. No. You install the driver. Pretty close. Yeah, I mean, there is an HP universal driver. You literally download and install the HP universal driver, set it to the IP address, and it prints. So, Poner Joe, now you actually got to look for the HP Universal driver in that specific one. Otherwise, you're getting all the software. Because if you go to LaserJet, blah, 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 and you download the software, it's everything. So you get the you literally Google HP Universal Printer driver, and you can go to it. And that's like an all-in-one, right? So you don't have to look at, a standalone universal driver for each and every freaking printer, because that could be problematic. When you're working help desk, you want the universal printer driver. It's going to work on all the printers. So that is the answer to solve the problem. Oh, the real Billow, an old schooler. So the printer of the shared, it's not hidden. You can see it. Again, I just changed the permissions. You can see the folder, but you can't see the contents. Say you just set up weird scenarios just to make, and it really, those are some quote unquote entry level stuff that a help desk person is going to see on a day-to-day operation. And it wasn't too, I mean, it was kind of like bonus points, if you will, if they were able to get my exact answer. I'm like, all right, I see you, right? I see you. But it is more to look over their shoulder and look at their troubleshooting techniques. Can they get there? Are they just flopping around like a fish out of water, not knowing what to do, right? So, and that really shows a lot to say, okay, this person is going to need a lot of hand holding to learn troubleshooting. And or this person just needs a little bit of guidance, right? And it really is an eye opener. Can I intern for you free work? No, unfortunately, Chuck. We don't have any internships going on right now. I have been considering it coming up soon. We definitely have some stuff that we want to get done. So trying to figure out some things like that. But I've been getting pushed really. Oh, so this is a webinar not for everybody. Okay. Seriously, it's not for everybody. This is really for, C-suite people, executives. So we're putting together a webinar for do what? I'm not sure what Dr. Gerald Auger is going on about in chat. Oh, he's talking to them about their, okay. All right, sorry. So this event here, let me actually move it over here and I'll share it on screen and without audio. So that way I don't trigger a bunch of people. Window. Boom. Boom. I just dropped a link into chat as well. So this literally is a webinar. We've been getting asked by our clients and clients and stuff like that for at least 6 months. Hey, we need continuing education. We need to know about vulnerability management. We need to know about this. We need to know about that. So once or twice a month, I'm going to be for CISOs, for executives, for maybe IT admins, things of that nature. This is really going to be what I plan on right now is very broad educational. It's like, hey, situational awareness topics. This is not in-depth technical analysis. That's what they kind of hold this thing for in the normal YouTube channel and stuff like that. If I'm going to dive in deep on something, we already have those platforms. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it there, right? But, if you are in there and you want to educate your team, you want to educate your help desk on things to be aware of that maybe you forgot or you didn't know about, things of that nature, because I have a different feed than what CISO Series puts together. I have ingesting a whole CTI bunch of trash. So we're curating stuff for this one. So I'm putting this thing together. The first run of it is next week. If you do fall into that role and want to have you and your team join, it literally is free. It's going to be on Zoom. So you just register and Bob is your uncle. When you click on this thing, it'll take you over to the Zoom. You put your first name, last name, email, what industry and what organization. And this, please be honest when you do it. You honestly, your job title is your job title. But I'm really curious about industry because when it gets closer to the time of the event, let's just say hypothetically we see a bunch of people in agriculture or we see a bunch of people in banking and securities. I have a running like 20 topics that I potentially want to talk about. And as it gets closer to that time, like maybe a day or two or maybe 3 days before, I'm going to look at what is the highest industry that's joining of that. And I'm going to try to curate the information to that if there's an abundance of those type of people that are in here. So definitely, be truthful about the industry, please. Right. The worst that you're going to get from this thing is sending out another notification saying, hey, we have another webinar coming up. This thing isn't even going into our CRM, to be honest with you. Our CRM sucks. So we're not really, we're not really ingesting that type of stuff. So, it's really curating it and just, notifying you of the next one coming up. If you're interested in rejoining the next episode is literally the only thing you're going to get from us on this type of thing. But those are workflows that I got to figure out later on. So again, if you're interested, if not, cool. Check out any other topics. And let me dig up Daniel Larry's, not Daniel Tiger. What's going on with you, YouTube? I do miss some Daniel Tiger though. Why am I not finding? What is up with my YouTube feed? I cannot find Daniel Larry at all. Mods, if you're here, please let me just scroll up, see if I can find it. I am not finding him. Why? There we are. Literally, it was giving me everything other than what I was looking for. So this thing is actually getting ready to start up. So let's go over there. Let's raid that. I'm going to drop in the sea shanty and we are going to go raid Daniel Larry. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Until next week, go out there, try to enjoy some nice weather. It's supposed to be a very pleasant weekend down here south or in the southeast, so I know I'm going to be enjoying it some myself. Until next time, y'all take care of yourselves. Shake yours, my friends.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go.
Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.